Out of Order Podcast, episode 15.
Welcome to the Out of Order Podcast, your window into the firearms community, exploring those shaping the future of our rights and protecting our lifestyle, laws, legal cases, activism, and self-defense in a candid and honest podcast for our brothers and sisters in arms. Here's your host, James Kalita.
Thank you for tuning in to episode 15 of the Out of Order Gun Rights Podcast. Today's sponsor is the email list. Please head over to the website, outoforderjameskalita.com, and sign up so we can maintain communication when we eventually get booted off all of the social media platforms. Today's guest is Mark Steiger. He is the founder of the Twin Cities chapter of Pink Pistols. And now, here's Mark.
Well, Mark, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So Mark, you have the Minneapolis, Minnesota chapter of Pink Pistols. Can you tell us a little bit about your organization?
Well, we have been active for about 15 years in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. We get together about 10 times a year for a shoot and social event. We have approximately 1,000 members on our Facebook page. And on that, we have a core of about 25 members that show up for our shooting events. We have an event. We have a booth at Twin Cities Pride every year, and we get usually a pretty good reception there of various people asking us questions about firearms and self-defense.
Oh, great. Good. So what inspired you to start the organization?
Well, I've always had an interest in firearms ever since I was young. I mean, I used to go shooting with my father when I was much younger, and there really wasn't an organization locally that supported firearms that was also very gay friendly. So myself and a few other guys kind of started the group up, and I found the Pink Pistols national organization, so we kind of formed under them and kind of got it rolling from there.
Great. So, how is the gay community? How are you treated in this community as a firearms owner? I'll let you answer.
Well, I mean, there is some negativity that we do get at Pride from some people because the majority of the gay community is anti-gun, but the view has changed recently as crime has gone up against gays in general. And a lot of the community has realized that you can't rely just on the police to protect us. So we have gotten a lot more inquiries as far as self-defense classes and other ways to defend yourself. We also do classes on like situational awareness that don't necessarily involve firearms, just so people can be more aware of what's going on around them and help protect themselves in public situations.
Great. And how has the firearms community been towards you? Have they been welcoming, or?
They have been. At first, they weren't too sure what to make of us because we were kind of, again, the gay community is not really known as being a very conservative group. That in general, it is a very liberal group, and liberal usually means anti-gun. But over the last probably 10 years or so, we've become nationally known, and that has really helped us out as far as being more welcomed at places like gun range and gun conventions and other places.
Excellent. And so if someone were asking you for advice on sort of reaching out to anti-gun groups or people and trying to bring them into firearms, what kind of advice would you give them?
I would say find a group that has trainers available and people to kind of help show you. I would say find a Pink Pistols group, even if you are not a member of the community, because they're always willing to help people out. We have instructors at all of our meetings that can help show you how to shoot, that have firearms available for you to use, and are more than happy to help get you started.
Great.
You know, it's easy. It's easier to get started with a smaller group, and it's not as intimidating either when you're going with a group as opposed to going alone to a gun range and trying to find somebody to help you out.
Sure. Yeah, I've spoken to a lot of people that tell me stories about their first time going into a gun store or a gun range, and it can be an experience.
Yes. And that's something else we've run into is a lot of people that come to us kind of go on their own first to a gun range, and they feel very intimidated by the people and the general environment at a gun range, and they find us, and going with our group, they feel much more comfortable.
Oh, good. So what would you say, like, what's the secret? You've been doing this for 15 years. It sounds like you've been very successful. Is there an approach you take that makes your group more welcoming and less intimidating?
Well, we try to always be welcoming. We try to always be friendly. When we go into a range, I generally don't shoot at our shoots. I generally stay out in the lobby because we always have one or two people that have never handled a gun before, or they're always very nervous about it. And I'll just stay out and I'll talk with them. And usually they come back on the next time they go in to shoot. And a lot of times you just need to talk with someone and they get used to the noise, they get used to the environment, they kind of used to the atmosphere of being there. And the other thing is that we have, like I said, we usually have one or two instructors and they get some one-on-one training for free to introduce them. And sometimes people come, they shoot 3 or 4 rounds and they're like, you know what, this isn't for me. And that's okay. We don't shame them. We don't force them to shoot anymore. It's just, they just fire a few rounds and they're like, this isn't my thing. And that's okay. But they came out and tried it, and we always appreciate them coming out and at least trying it.
Yeah. And so how do you let people know about the group? How do you find
Well, we do have a Facebook page. We're Pink Pistols Twin Cities. We do have a booth at Pride where we hand out hundreds of flyers. We've gotten a lot of local press coverage. Whenever something does happen, we usually do get called, and we've been on the news a few times. We are part of Pink Pistols nationwide, and that has also gotten a lot of press. It was just on the Biebert report a couple days ago. We try to stay active, so when people think about guns in the community, they usually think about us. We've gone to there have been marches on the Capitol and rallies at the Capitol about gun rights, and we always try to go there. We have a rainbow Gadsden flag that we bring so people remember us. So they see our flag and they remember we're out here helping to promote for gun rights, and they remember us.
Excellent. So have you, I remember you said you grew up with firearms, but have you been concealed carrying your whole adult life, or did that come about later? Or
I'm sorry?
Oh, have you been concealed carrying like for your entire adult life, or did something happen that made you want to start?
I've had a carry permit most of my life.
Okay. Oh.
I've just always have had one.
Okay. Great. Very cool. Anything else you think our listeners should know about your organization?
Well, we cater to all beginner shooters. We have a lot of non-gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender. We have a lot of allies. We have quite a few. Everybody's welcome at any of the Pink Pistol chapters nationwide. We also have some chapters outside the U.S., but they're more social because of various laws in different countries. But we do have chapters all over the country. Most of them do get together about once a month to go for a shoot. And most of them do have web pages, or just go to the national, just Google for Pink Pistols, and you'll find the national organization web page. We're all listed on there.
Okay. Great. And I've been asking all of my guests if there's any books you feel that gun owners should read that that would be important in their pursuit of protecting gun rights.
Boy, I wasn't prepared for that one. Probably More Guns, Less Crime.
Okay.
By John Lott. I like that one because he did, he's a professor down from, I believe he's in Chicago, that did a great study on how more guns and gun permits actually lower gun crime in a lot of cities.
Yeah, that was that book. That's an excellent book, and that it took him 20 years to complete it. It was a
yep.
Yeah.
I met him at at one of the gun conferences actually in Chicago a few years ago, one of the Second Amendment Foundation conferences.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm excited for that one in September. Should be a very good event.
Those conferences are amazing. You learn so much. You meet so many people.
Well, Mark, thank you very much for coming on the show. Any parting words? Anything else our listeners should know?
I don't think so. Just if you see someone at the range that looks a little nervous or a little out of place, try to help them out because, we need everybody that we can on our side to help with gun rights. Don't just because somebody might look a little different or maybe act a little different. We need everybody we can on our side.
Thank you. And where should people try and find you online?
pinkpistolstc.com is our website, and from there it links to our Facebook page and other places and other social media that we're on.
Okay, good. Well, again, I thank you very much, and I look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Out of Order Gun Rights Podcast. Please head over to the show notes page, Out of Order James Kalita /Mark, and we'll see you next time.